Greetings and welcome to Prosperous Universe. Okay, so today's job is actually to start looking at getting our DW base up and running. So, DW base, what's the plan there? Well, first of all, we're going to be going over to Grimdark, and we'll be heading up to Earthwind. There's plenty of plots there. It's a Type 1 planet. Yep, Type 1 planet, just double checking. So we're going to go out there and place a base. To do that, we need to send up a bunch of stuff out there. Most of we're going there for the water. We might, maybe at that level, we might start getting some oxygen as well. I'm not sure yet. We do use a fair bit, but I do need to buy it fairly cheaply, so it's worth the hassle. Anyway, we're going to go out to Earthwind. Now to do that, we've got to get a ship ready. Now, a ship just landed about 10 minutes ago, so first thing first, let's make sure that ship is full of fuel. Bum, 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 bum. There we go, because it has a second job when it's done. The hope is once it's delivered its cargo to Earthwind, it'll be heading out to Katoa to pick up a whole bunch of fuel. That's my plan, because God, I need it. I'm going down to my last 1400 SF, and I just need more SF, generally speaking. Right, so bring up the cargo bay for this ship, and let's see what we're going to do. Right, first of all, we need to look at our sheet of construction stuff. We're going to be building 8 food processors, 10 rigs, and 1 storage facility. That's the plan. That should be enough to keep the base running, and we can upgrade that later if we feel like we need more DW, which we probably will do eventually. But initially, that will do 281 units of area, so it will quite happily cover us for what we needed to cover. Okay, so to do it, we need 160 BSE. Actually, no, let's get the CM running first, shall we? Right, CM, the core module, the base of any base. So if you've never built a base before, these things here are what you need minimum to build a base. That's a tier 1 base. If you're going for tier 2 or tier 3 bases, you'll need either some interfoam, sealant, HSE, and if it's a gas giant, you'll need some aerofloats. So different things needed for different locations of base. Alright, but these are generally between LD, LSE, and LTA. You need 4 of each of those. So LDE 1. Do the easy way for me. Grab me 10, return half, return 1. LSE, grab me 10, return half, return 1. LTA, 10, half, 1. Okay, we have 4 of each of the type 2 prefabs that we're required. We need 8 trusses. There we go, all 8 truss there, please. We need 100 MCG. Boop. And we require 12 PSL. So that's half of my PSL. That's the minimum to build a base. So if you're not planning on building any buildings there, but you just want to access the commodity market, for example, that's all you need to take with you to, say, Prometer, to set up a prom base. And that'll allow you to buy and sell from prom without the need for actual ships to be there all the time. But that's useless on the grounds that where we're going there isn't a commodity exchange, and it's also useless because, well, we want to produce something, so we need production buildings. So we need all of this. So what I've been asking for is 8 rigs, 10 rigs, 8 food processors, and 1 storage building. So let's start with the BSE. 160 BSE is required. So let's grab 100 and half that, and then another 100. That's 150, 160. Then 58 of the BBH. We have exactly 58 BBH. Boop. Then we need 44 of the BDE. So bring all the BDE and return 2 of those. BTAs, we need 7. So give me half of the BTAs plus 1. There we go. And then we need to bring in an extra 1,124 MCG. So 1,000, 100, and 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Alright. So next on our list of things to be doing is what we need to run the building. So over in our consumable usage sheet, we have our new base over here. It'll have approximately 620 people running it. Is that right? No. No, it will. Sorry. It'll have 620 people running the place because that's the target point. Initially it's going to run less because I'm only going to run the rigs initially just to get the food processors some water to run with. But let's plan for the whole thing. Consumable usage. We're going to run 5 days of drinking water. That should be enough, in theory, based on some calculations earlier, to build up all of the rigs, have them run a single short run, enough to produce enough H2O to run a single food processor at full power for a full 200 run. Then to build all of them and run them on a short run just to get things up and running. That should be enough. 5 days should be enough to get the building running. Also coming up behind this ship will be the other ship when it finishes its current task, which is going to Bertha to pick up a whole bunch of the supplies from the base we shut down, and then it will return to Prom, pick up some H2O, pick up some other supplies that might be needed. So it's gonna get resupplied pretty quickly afterwards. So 5 days is more than enough time to keep that base a kickstart. So to do that, we're going to need at least 124 drinking water. So let's just put in strict 100 and the ship's going to get quite full, isn't it? 20. One. Didn't want one. I don't want to put the next one in. Where's my drinking water on? 130 in there. We're very close to the limit. We may need to offload some material here. We're going to need rations, overalls, coffee, and PWO. Those are the ones that are required to get the base running. Now we don't need the whole 20. Again, just a couple of days will do the job. We can actually lower that down to say 2 days, just to kickstart the base actually. So let's bring in 100 water, half that, so it's a straight 50 right now. So that's just 2 days worth of supply. Do the same with rations. Okay, well apparently it's all the rations. Promises just consume some, but it's going to have a whole bunch coming out in 9 hours, so that's enough to keep the base kickstarted anyway. Let's see, overall 6.2, so it's been 10 overalls. Okay, it's been 7 overalls. I need to make some more overalls now. Coffee. Can I bring 10 coffee? PWO needs 3. I bring 10 PWO. The more I can bring with me, the less I have to bring later on. And we could do with PG, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say bring as much PG as you can bring. No, not PE, PG, polygranulate, my friends. Because that's needed for the actual running of the food processors. We don't need them right away because we're not going to have any water to go with, but we might as well bring what we can with us anyway. That's actually just being 500, so it's a nice, easy to remember number. But there we go. That ship should be ready to plonk a base down on Earthwind. So let's get that ship moving before we forget about it. Earthwind. There we go. Send you out there. You're going to take 12 hours to get there, and it's only one jump. If I would just drop it down there, it's 14 hours. And I would like it to be, 14 hours is okay. I'm probably going to be asleep at that point. So give me, 14 hours 51 it is. Go. Boop. Alright, the reason I want to drop the FTL right down as well is because I want to be traveling all the way out to Katoa after this mission. So I want to make sure that we have the fuel to get there and back with ease. Right, so you're going out there, 14 hours. That will put you at about, 7 AM. About 7 AM my time when you land. So it won't be too bad. But you're going there. You're on your way. These bases are pretty good. I need to make sure on Prometer we need to shut down that requirement of repair packs. And we need to start getting some overalls running because we just don't have overalls in stock anymore. Because I've been sending out large amounts of overalls out and I just haven't been keeping an eye on them apparently. Also, exoskeletons needs more producing. PT could also do some more. We need to do more basically. In that case, let's really quickly before we leave. Do I have any steel left? I do. Delete that order because I can make the power tools from that. And let's see, Prometer. Overall's more important right now. So I don't have any cotton and I don't have any RCO just yet because my farms have been producing that, and my weaving plants have been busy recently. So for now we're going to make it out of PG and PE. It's a bit more expensive, I believe. Actually, how much more expensive is it to do that? Yeah, it's significantly more expensive to make it out of PE and PG based on these costs. But we need some, so I'm actually surprised it's that expensive, to tell you the truth. Jeez. Time factor goes up. Raw material price is significantly more. Yeah, PE and PG, they're expensive. Anyway, all we can do is ask it to do something. So ask it to make 100 of them. That'll use a chunk of our PE, but it's fine. And that will be enough to keep us going for a short while anyway. I may need to buy some in the meantime, but that's not an issue. And that's the overalls dealt with. Now, this also takes some. We have 25 steel. I'm not going to use all of it up in this because mostly I can't. But let's make. We got 40. Just do a full run of that. Boom. And then can we make some exoskeletons? We would need overalls. So not making the exoskeletons just yet. But we need to get those. We need to make some actual proper overalls soon. So we need some more farms, I'm guessing. That'll be fine. Next up after that, we can get back to making the repair packs that we were looking at making. Boom, there we go. So we got the queue back up again. I need to make more overalls, so I might end up cancelling these when we get time. Bertha base is just waiting for the ship to arrive in 7 hours to be able to build that. It'll have been sending back the aluminium. Well, pretty much all of this will come back to prom. When that comes back, that AL can be used for making. Could be the first batch. That AL can be used for making exoskeletons. We just need to get the actual RCO done. And RCO, we can definitely do that. Let's cancel some of these productions. So don't need you, you, and you right now. But I do need some RCO making. How much RCO is it per overall? 1. Okay, so that's nice and easy. 1 per 10, so RCO, not with nutrient solution, RCO, and give you a single day production run each. And we've got 4 farms, so boom, 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 boom. That's a good number already. And then I'll put 1 more in there when that completes in 20 hours. So each farm gets to have 1 full run of RCO, which will. You know what? Let's make it 5. I like better numbers like that. So let's go. It's still like 2 days run, but it's still worth it. Run those, then back to making food for the food processor. We need more farms, and those farms are going to just be able to supply the food processors. We probably need to double the number of farms we've got right now. So it's not the end of the world. But we just need to get things up and running. All right, we are good here. Okay, I will be back in approximately 14 hours 47 minutes with the landing of the space kayak and the setting up of our DWO base. So, back in a few moments. Alright, we are back. The ship has arrived at our destination of Grimdark, Earthwind. So now we can build our DWO base. So, let's get started. Map please. And you. And you. Alrighty, to build a new base, click on Database. And I like the fact that it's a new screen. Actually, it used to just put the required items down here below the thing. It was okay, but it's a bit tight on the screen to fit. Also, this version now has this new planet thing, but this one rotates. If you look, it was just slowly rotating by itself. And this one sort of stops when you put cursor, which is kind of cool because it means it's easy to just. Alright, North Pole's taken, South Pole's not as taken. I do like using the pole, so right there, build me a base. Boop. 1 base successfully built. Alright, first thing to do is, and it's an important thing to do, is we need to find a place to put all this stuff. So the way I'm looking at it is, I have a Prometer screen here, and it's got Prometer on it. So what I'm going to do is changing this out to be a resource, not resource, consumable production screen. So here, on Prometer, we have repair packs, overalls, power tools, and exoskeletons, all produced here. we're able to get the farm food, we'll get the food produced there, we'll get the water for the farm, all that produced here. So it makes sense on this side of the screen if we could fit the drinking water colony all on one screen for consumables. To me, that makes sense. That's also the wrong thing to look on. That would make sense. So let's take, because I'm not even going to try, rename you. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. Rat and DW. There we go. Rat and DW. Okay, so first of all, I want to split this panel in half. I don't want to split that panel in half again. And we're going to want to put over here the inventory for Earth and Wind right there. And we can't do production yet because we haven't got any production buildings, which is kind of annoying. I would have actually liked to have placed that in. Alright, well, in order to do that, I need to go to my FTL, go to my ship, which is here, and just unload it. But so it needs an unload all button. but also, it would help people on mobile, because mobile works really well. The only thing you can't do on mobile is drag and drop, which is obviously a nice feature. But if you can't do it on mobile, and it's the only thing you can't really do, then a button to say, right click on it, and then have like transfer, look at these numbers, and then an option like transfer all of the ship. Those would be awesome little changes, probably take some more effort than it sounds, but would be kind of cool. Okay, so the plan is that Earthwind, if I bring up the scouting, has water, which is what our target is to grab the water. Now I'm going to eventually go for the oxygen, and I may even go for the silicon, because I could use both of those in my own productions. But for now we're going for the water, which means we want a rig. And to get a rig, we have a set. So over here, the total plan is for 8 food processors, 10 rigs, 1 storage building, and 7 hubs. So let's start building. Now, currently I have everything on board, so I'm going to build the hubs first. Now, if I just said I only want the rigs only, that's 3 hubs. Okay, let's build 3 hubs first. I don't like building all the hubs in one go in case I'm short or something. So hubs. So 3 hubs. 1, 2, 3. Now I can build I should be able to build all of my rigs now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. So that should, that adds up exactly as well. That should give me my production building a button. I can drop that in there. Perfect. Alright, close that for a second, close that for a moment. Let's see if we can get these in. So I'm going to want at least 2 spaces in here. Ooh, we can just get 2 spaces in here. Yeah, that should be good. Alright, well they're up and running. They're prepping. With rations, and we have drinking water in, the use of all of the rations for a day. So that's why the ship has to follow behind. Alright, so I'm going to want half of these running on that, and the other half running on that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the rest run on full on 4-day cycle. So every 2 days we'll get water. Now here's the thing: every 2 days we're going to get 500 water, and the 500 water is going to about a third fill our entire base, just the water. So as a result of that, that's what the extra storage building was for. Construct infrastructure right at the very bottom, a storage facility. Boom. There we go. We're now at 6,500 on storage buildings, which is great. Still think that's been nerfed to it too much. Not the starting one's fine at 1,500. Maybe make it 3,000, but 1,500 is fine. It's the building itself. It should put up it should put you up to 10. It should be 10,000, not 5,000, because I think it's just it feels like it's for the space it uses. Either that or half the space it uses. Keep the same prefabs, half its space, because I just feel that it's for what you're building. Anyway, that's just a personal opinion. Right. Water is now being produced. We do need to get out here with more overalls, more rations. The drinking water is also a bit of an issue, but that is the reason that this ship has just landed at Prometer. So, right, about to move things, we're in the same screen. You have a whole bunch of stuff on board. Let's empty you as well, shall we? Close that. These are all the buildings from the Bertha base that are not on Bertha anymore, basically. You probably saw that in the last episode, me emptying the base out, or was it late this episode? I don't know. I've done like 3 episodes and I haven't actually released any of them yet, so I'm a bit confused with which is in what episode. Alright. Bum, 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 bum. Get that, get that, get that, get that, get that, and get that. Okay. That is all released. Now you're going to come over here. So I want to give you... Ooh, actually, what's the sheet say? For the full base. Right, so I'm going to give you 20 days worth of food if we can, and get you up and running. Alright, so let's see what we've actually got in the base right now. 9 PWO, 8 coffee, 5 overalls, 37 rations, and 37 drinking water is our current amount, which actually is not a too bad an amount. So because of a day, which is what I expected, about a day to get there. Okay. That's, yeah. I want to bring 2 days worth of water. Let's make that 4 days worth of water, just to play safe. Yeah, because that gives us 2 days to run those. Unless we cancel that and make it just a shorter run. Yes, let's cancel all of them. And put in a 2 day and a 1 day and a 3 day. I want to make sure there's 2 days between them. I don't want to be off by more. So if we say do a 1 day and a 3 day instead of a 2 day and a 4 day, the first water should be completing as the ship arrives. Alright, so what's the 1 day going to be? 5? Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you, and then back to full 200s. There we go. Because that will give me 1 day to get the other rations and supplies over, and then we can build the we can straight away build the buildings. We don't have to wait for the production to complete, and I don't have to bring water with me, which is one of the key components of this first run. Alright, okay, so we're going to be bringing with us we're going to need 62 units of drinking water to make sure we have enough. So let's bring 100. We need 459 food. Where's my rations gone? Rations. 450. Ooh, it's close. I can't afford that many. So let's change the tact. Let's go 10 day supply. 211. I can do 211. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. There we go. 230. It's a bit higher than we need, but I can spare it. Overalls 26. I don't actually have overalls to spare, so I'm gonna have to buy them because these are a couple of days out. We'll buy those. Coffee 23. I am actually out of coffee. Okay, well, I'm going to grab the 17 I've got available. I will just have to buy some more in because I didn't realise I was that low. PWO at 3.4. PWO. I'm sure I can give you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I have a lot of PWO. The PG, I'm going to give you a couple of thousand. By a couple of thousand, I mean I'm going to give you 4,500. There we go. That'll bring it up to a full 5,000 when we get there. Which should be good. And then that's PG done. And you should be good for pretty much everything else right now. I just need to buy some overalls. So you need 30 overalls. Totally thing to exchange. Basic consumables. Overalls. I haven't bought overalls in such a long time. I've never run out. I think I've actually run out of overalls. I want 30 overalls. At 58. Buy them. There we go. I'm going to put those in the ship because the part where you put them in the ship's still broken. Overalls. Give me 10, 20, 30. Alright, so this ship's ready to go. It's got everything in there that place needs. There isn't anything else I'm missing, am I? Rations, the 230. I can't really spare more. I need to build more farms over here to build that up to. I should build 2 more farms. 2 more farms should do it. We have a lot of prefabs here. Do I actually have enough to? And it'll slow down the other base expansion, but I think it's worth it here. So on prompted, can I really quickly build 2 farms? First of all, do I have the capacity for 2 farms? I have enough for a small. Okay, we're at 820 right now, and it will take 50. I can build 1 farm. Cannot build more. Okay, and we're running low on coffee now, so I need to go and buy some coffee. But yes, I can build 1 farm. That will help keep us slightly bit further ahead in our chain of events. I'm going to get rid of these RCOs. I'm going to see if we can buy some off of somebody, because I'd rather not stop the farms making food. That would be a bad thing. Alright, prompters dealt with. Water's been produced. I won't build the food process over here until we get to the final piece. Because if we did that now, we'd be paying people to make nothing right now. But we do have a few more of these buildings to make. So either wind. I built 3, didn't I? They provide 100 each. I got 3, and it's supposed to be 7. Settler, tiny scientist, barracks, community, luxury stuff. Where's the pioneer? They moved it to the top. It confused me. No end. It's 100 per. Yes, we got 3 now. We said we needed 7 in total. So 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's all the pioneer has built. So now we can make any of these buildings we want to. Again, we're not going to just yet, because we're going to wait for the. Basically, going to wait 1 day, 30 minutes for water to be produced, and then we're going to build all those and go. So we'll be back in just a few moments to make our water line. Okay, the water is complete. About a few hours ago. So the water's done. We've got the first few up and running, and we have enough to get started with production. Now we need to hold off we need to hold enough production to run for just 1 day, 20 hours. Now, how much would a food processor be able to process in that short space of time? 1 day, 20 hours. Okay, so we need to hold off for that. So we need to run 10 units. That's not too hard. So we can run 1 at 10 units, which I think is a good way to get started. Run 1 food processor running at a speed of 10. Yeah, that'll give us that period of time. Or we can run 2 food processors. No, we can't run 2 food processors, because if we do that, it'll be 1 day. 1 food processor running 10 will be enough to keep the place running with drinking water, and it will start using more water. Okay. I can run 2. I can run 2 at 10. Yes, do that. Let's run 2 at 10. Alrighty. Let's go and build over on Earthwind. Construction. And Pioneer buildings. Food processor 1 and 2. There we go. Just confirm we're below the threshold. We are below the threshold. We are now without 250 rations. Our drinking water's there. So far everything's looking good. And set up 2 drinking waters for 10s. Should be 2 days, 1 minute. Ooh, actually, we must have boosts over there I wasn't aware of. 1 day, 42 seconds. Not 1 day, 42. 1 day, 20 would be, yeah, so even then it's going to have to be that. So, 2 of those. That's all of our water, well, most of our water in use. So we just wait for that to be done. When that's done, we'll get all this water in, which we then reevaluate for building the rest of the drinking water food processors. Okay, so we're down to the last few seconds of the rig pumping out its water, and once that's done, we can actually go ahead and make the rest of our food processors. Actually, let's get rid of these off the screen. I don't need these anymore. Alrighty, so here comes the water. Now, this should produce around, what can calculator say? 1500 water. Yeah, 1500 water should be produced there with the 50 got here. And I did a quick calculation while we're waiting, and we should be able to use in all the new buildings 193.75, and since we can do 200 or 190, we should be able to get away with. Oh, thank you. Should be able to get away with a little bit of production there, and we get a resource extraction expert. Nice. Let's do that expert before I forget. Earth, wind, experts, resource. Okay, you're done. Now, let's go construction time. And we want 8 of these buildings in total. We have 2 already. So, pioneers, food processors, and so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's it. All the materials have been used up. Perfect. Rations, overall drink water, coffee, PWO, PG. Okay, everything is there. We have 800. I miscalculated something. I think I miscalculated based on the full. Oh, I calculated on all of them coming out, not 5 of them. Alright, well, what I'm going to do is cancel these 2. Put that there, put that there. Just so we can synchronize production. We have the full 8, so what we're going to do here is say we have 814, and we have 8 buildings, so it's 101 each, so roughly 100 each. Now what I want to do is I want to stagger them. So if 10 is 100, we can do 100 each. We can do all 8 at 100. If we were to say run them at 200, we'd obviously only be able to power 4 of them, and that'd be a problem because I want to power more. So we should be able to get away with 15 and 5. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, takes it down to a number we're never going to get rid of. Basically, there's no where to go, and then everything else will run at the full 200s, and the rigs. I'll have to probably cancel these a little early, but let them run the way they're running right now, and put more water in the production cycle. There we go. So they're going to start producing that. Now I am aware that they're going to finish in the day 14, and they're going to take 2 days. So what's going to happen is, in about a day, I'll come and cancel these, and then we'll set some more queues up, and we're going to try and get them to synchronize a little ahead, so that we can actually produce an excess water supply, and this should be relatively balanced. It's relatively balanced in favour of the rigs, I believe, especially with the new resource extraction expert as well. Alright, well, the DW base is up and running. It just requires the micromanaging to get it stable, and then let it run itself, pretty much. I do need to go and check on rations and overalls, but we haven't made them yet. We've got a day left before they can be shipped out, so we'll give a little check on there. But we are done with this base. This base is going to produce us a crap ton of drinking water, and hopefully that means we can start looking at expanding the Prometer farms out a little bit. Maybe get rid of a couple of food processors if we want to. Probably a good idea, in exchange for more farms, to make sure we can just produce rations on Prometer and nothing else. But I think that's actually a pretty good place to leave it. So if you have any comments, any suggestions, please do let me know. But until next time, comments in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.